Hey everybody. Oh, let me grab my water. How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Wednesday. It's 12:30 today. And I just want to come in really quickly. I'm not going to be here long because I need to get outside and get a walk in and change my scenery a little bit. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing. But today I really want to talk to you very briefly about things you should not be doing alone right now. Things that you should not be doing alone right now. These four things, don't do these four things alone right now. I'm Deborah Porter. This is Mom's Mentoring Circle Facebook page, and I'm here to help you get some systems in place, which are needed probably more now than ever. I support at-home moms, which right now, all of us are at-home moms. And so the idea to have the systems in place to be able to have the things get done that need to be done in the home as well as in your own life personally, so that you can still take care of the other things that are on your plate to do. And not only that, the girl that you were, the lady that you were, the woman that you were before having kids, she still matters. She still has stuff she wants to get done. She still has dreams and things that she wants to accomplish. So we help you put all of that kind of in a systematic format so that those things get done and that you, at the center of it all, don't get neglected. Hey, Robin, how you doing? So, Robin, I'm going to talk about real quickly four things that moms should not be doing by themselves right now. Four things we should not be doing by ourselves. The first is social distancing. Now, I know we've got to kind of keep this physical distance of 6 feet from people, but do not let that morph into isolation, right? So we should not be isolated in all that is going on right now. That can really add to anxiety, depression, loneliness. So in the midst of practicing social or physical distancing, don't let that morph into isolation. Stay connected. Stay connected to your family, to your friends. We all need privacy, right? We're all living together now in our homes of different sizes, homes of different sizes, families of different sizes. This is really the time right now to respect a closed door and to teach our kids that and our significant others that because we're all together, there are moments that I'm really just going to need to pull away. And so if the door is closed, please knock on it. Please respect it. Don't just barge in. That's going to be important. But remain connected to the outdoors. Please get outside as much as you can. The other day I went for a walk. It was raining, but it was really important for me to just change my scenery and get outside. So stay connected to the outdoors. Stay connected to your own feelings and emotions by journaling. Journaling is fantastic for that. Doesn't have to look pretty, doesn't have to sound pretty, doesn't have to be neat. It is your personal property, your journal. Just write out how you feel. It helps with managing and putting those feelings and emotions in perspective, and stay connected to friends and family with things like FaceTime and Zoom and all those kinds of things. But in the midst of the social and physical distancing, don't get isolated. The other thing you should not be doing alone is homeschooling. And I know there is a really beautiful quote that says mothers are their children's first teachers. And that is true. But what I am not, in the words of the mom that we've seen all over Facebook, praying for some relief, what I am not is an educator. I am not an educator. Yes, I can teach you how to tie your shoe. I cannot teach you algebra. I can't do it. So don't take on the task. Hey, Felicia, I've got two educators right here. Do not take on the task of homeschooling by yourself. There are so many resources online right now. Many of them are offering things for free. There are educators online right now, two of my dear sisters right now. Some are even offering their time if you have questions or comments, or if your child needs support or help in some way. There are college students that are not in college right now that might be very willing to FaceTime or Zoom with your child to assist them and support them in what they're doing, whether these are college students in your family, in your neighborhood, in your church. But do not take on this task of homeschooling, right? I am a mother. Yes, I am your first teacher. I am not the educator, though. So I have to know where my limits are, what I can do, what my lane is, and then find those resources. And so tons of things online that are being offered for free, college students everywhere that are willing to help, as well as your child's teacher. Hey, Walanda, your child's teacher may have some kind of online office hours where they are available to answer questions. But do not stress yourself out about having to work yourself and now homeschool your child and run a home. It's not necessary because there are resources available. We just got to take advantage of them, right? So the first point was, do not let social distancing and physical distancing turn into isolation, because that can add to anxiety and depression. Do not do homeschooling alone. We're talking today about things you should not be doing alone as a mom. It's just straight up stuff you should not be doing by yourself. I know there is a beautiful saying that mothers are their children's first teachers. Yes, but what I am not, I'm mocking and mimicking and talking about that mom that was praying for relief on Facebook. Many of us have seen. I am not an educator. And so I will not take that on by myself thinking I'm super mom and I can do everything. I am not super mom. I want to be a great mom, but there's no need for me to try to convince myself I'm super mom and that I can do everything, because that's a false narrative. Okay. So I can provide you some of those resources for support and assistance for your child for homeschooling. The other thing that you don't want to do alone, and I wish I could stand up and shout this one from the rooftops. I'm serious. Because this is not just happening right now. This is kind of an ongoing thing for a lot of us. But right now it's probably compounded because everybody's at home. You should not be doing all of the household responsibilities yourself. Don't do that by yourself. Don't do that alone. Look, this one needs attention right now. Like right now. And so here's the thing. Everyone's at home. So there's going to be more use of the kitchen. There's going to be what I call more dead skin cells shedding, turning into dust all over the floor. It's just going to be more stuff that needs to be done, more laundry, more everything that needs to be done. Don't do this alone. You're doing a disservice to the people in your home if you're going to buzz around like Supermom doing everything that everybody wants. I did a live on a friend's page yesterday talking about how you do have control over closing your kitchen. I think I've done that here before as well. Look, don't do this by yourself. What system do you have in place? What are your systems for the things that need to be done and who's assigned to do them? What's your system that you can just point people to so that you're not having to yell, to nag, to ask people 4, 5, 6 times and they're looking at you like a deer in headlights, like you're talking another language and they don't even know what you're saying. So this is an area that can be addressed now. It can be addressed swiftly, quickly, with some systems that really release you from having to be the voice of what needs to be done and send people straight to the system of what needs to be done. Okay, so we're talking about things that you don't need to be doing by yourself right now. Social distancing, because if we're not careful, that can turn into isolation. Homeschooling, you do not need to be doing that by yourself. Hey, Chelsea Dunstan. Homeschooling you don't need to be doing that alone. I am my child's first teacher. I am not an educator. There are so many resources and people that are making themselves available to support with that. The third thing was household responsibilities. We can really address that within the hour about how that's going to look and what we're going to do with that. From our significant others to as young as 5 years old, everybody can do something. Hey, Stan. When one of mine was 5 years old, his job was to make his bed, because 5-year-olds can make a bed. It's not going to be military made bed where you can pop a quarter off of it, but the covers are going to be pulled up. And that child was also responsible for cleaning the baseboards, because in my mind, you're the one lowest to the ground, so it's easiest for you. Slip a sock on his hand and around the house he goes. Listen, everybody can do something. There is no reason why, as mom, you are running around the house handling every single household responsibility, cooking 3 meals a day, people eating just throughout the day. They wouldn't do that at school. They wouldn't be doing that at home. Let's get some systems in place on how this can look. The systems are up so that you're not the nag, you're not the one yelling, but people automatically know what the next step is and what to do. Okay. And here's the fourth thing that you do not have to do alone. You don't even have to do this thing of mom by yourself, right? We don't have to be isolated and in our own little world doing that role. And yes, I'm going to make the decisions that are best for my family. Yes, I'm going to do what's best for my household. But the idea of doing that in isolation without the support of other moms, confident moms, smart moms, that are making significant shifts and changes in their own homes, adopting new systems and strategies to have things go smoother. You don't have to do it by yourself. Don't have to do it by yourself. Yolanda says, I'll be using that for Kason. He turns 5 in May. Happy baseball birthday, son. Not on his birthday, Yolanda. Not that day. But yeah, I'm just saying, when we're all up and cleaning, like, nobody has to be left out. Nobody gets to chill and sit and watch cartoons while the rest of us, are cleaning. There is something that every single person can do. It's fortunate that pretty much everybody has a dishwasher now. Like, I grew up, I was the dishwasher. How young can someone load a dishwasher? Young. Children can load a dishwasher. It's not that challenging. It's not that difficult. So the fourth thing, again, is being a mom. We do not have to do that by ourselves. There are so many added stressors right now, right? There are many conversations that as moms, we knew we were going to have with our kids, right? We know at some point we're going to have the sex talk or several sex talks. I don't like it to be just one talk. We know that at some point we're going to have to address drugs and alcohol. We know at some point we may have to address cutting school or not cutting school, right? So here's the thing. I never realized I was going to have a conversation about a pandemic and us not being able to go visit friends or go to grandma's or, this is not a conversation I really thought as a mom I'd be having to have. And I'm sure you feel the same way. And so with all of the added stressors and things that are going on right now, the role of mom doesn't have to be done by yourself. Okay, so the four things, really quickly going through them again, you should not be doing by yourself right now. Not letting social distancing turn into isolation. You should not be doing homeschooling alone unless you want to. Like, if your thing is algebra and science projects, have at it. But what I'm trying to communicate to you is that you don't have to do that alone. There are resources available, some of them free, some of them not free, because sometimes we have to make an investment in what we want and what we need. Sometimes we have to have a little bit of skin in the game. But there are many resources and things available in this regard. There are people that are available in this regard to homeschooling your child that can support you. The other thing that we don't have to do alone is the household responsibilities and chores. Not necessary. It's too many hands inside the house right now, 24 hours a day, for one person to be buzzing around doing everything. No need. No need. There are systems we can put. Hey, Yaya, how are you? There are things that we can put in place. There are systems and strategies, tried and true. I've used them for over 30 years that can support you in having your family step up to the plate and do their part without yelling, without passive aggressive slamming of cabinet doors, without having to ask 3, 4, and 5 times. We had something in our house that we called first time obedience. There was an expectation that our children respond when we said it the first time. I'm not yelling 4 or 5 times for you to get off the couch and do something. I'm not doing it. There's a system. There's a way to place that into your family and into your home and for there to be the appropriate and positive response to it. Yaya says, so good. Now is not the time to be doing it all alone. It is not. It is not. And the fourth thing was being a mom. You don't even have to do that alone. Listen, we have a great community of moms here in Moms Mentoring Circle, as well as in our Facebook group, which is Moms in Queue for Quarantine. Moms in Queue for Quarantine. It's a Facebook group where many of the resources that I've highlighted today are in detail there. There are links there for ways that you can get support with homeschooling. I'll be live in there later in the week talking about what does an actual system in my home look like? How do I introduce that? Do I sit down and have a big family meeting about it? How do we shift what we've been doing to the new way of doing things? So don't do any of these things alone. Join us in the Moms in Q Facebook group. I will put that link here. And you can go over there and really just pop around and look around into many of the resources that are already being offered there. But do not allow what's happening right now cause you to retreat. Really, as moms, as smart, confident moms, we really have to step up and get what we need, know what we need, and then ask for it. There's courage in knowing what you need and not being afraid to step up and say, look, okay, everybody, here's what we're not doing. Here's what's changing, and here's what we're not doing. It takes a village. I could not have done it alone. I'm forever grateful. Felicia says, absolutely. It does take a village. But even right now, our village is a little challenged because we can't really get to our village or have our village get to us. So we've got to be creative. And we've got to think about, how do I make this happen? Who in my family is a college student that I can get on a Zoom call to help my child with their algebra? Y'all know I'm stuck on this algebra because algebra kicked my behind in school. OMG. Right? So think about, every mom needs a village. And if you don't have a village, then let us step in right now and be that for you. Right? Let Mom's Mentoring Circle, let our village, we are more than willing to virtually surround you right now and help you with the resources that you need, the support system that you need, the systems that you need. It's in moments like this that we really recognize how important those systems are, if we have them or if we don't. All right, so join us. I will put the link here for the Moms in Q Facebook group. I would love to have you in there. I would also love to just encourage you to have your student reach out to their teacher. Hear me on this. Hear me how I said that. I'm not saying you need to reach out to the teacher. Have your child reach out to their teacher to find out if there are available Zoom office hours or if the teacher is available. But if you have, and I know that you do, we all know a college student, whether it's someone in our church, in our neighborhood, in our family, get those things in place to support you in supporting your child to be their best. Okay. So listen, I'm going outside. I hope you guys are going to get outside. It's beautiful here where I am. But I trust that you'll be able to get outdoors. Don't neglect that. A change of scenery is important. And join me over in the Facebook group, Moms in Q, and I'll be sharing more in detail about some of the things that I highlighted here later this week and into next week. All right, everybody, take care and stay safe.